Hello everybody, it's your girl Connie, Kenneth, and welcome back to my channel. We are back again with another reaction from Teo Aina, one of my favorite YouTubers. And yeah, today we're going to see traveling to West Africa's floating salt village in Benin Republic. So all I know about this country is it's in West Africa. I know it's in between, it's sandwiched between Togo and Nigeria, and I think is it Burkina Faso to the north? I think it's Burkina Faso to the north, colonized by the French. So yeah, so let's see. And so if you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, and let's get straight to this video.
So what makes the water so salty?
Wow.
I've never seen anywhere like this before in Africa.
Okay. Ooh, look at how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness, look at that.
I've never seen anywhere like this before in
Whoa.
Africa.
What? So is this artificial? Is this a natural environment? I can see some, what is it? Is it huts or houses? Okay. Wow, this is so beautiful. Very beautiful. So I would like to know, please let me know, is it an artificial place, a salt farming that was man-made, I would say. So let me know in the comment section below.
Inside Uida is a village called...
Oh yeah, so you have Benin Republic, so Nigeria, oh yeah, and Burkina Faso to the north. So you can see that it's a very I look at it like a tree. It looks like, it looks like a tree. That's how I like looking at it. And then yeah, it's sandwiched between the Togo and Nigeria.
Jegbaji, which is home to a float. Inside Uida is a village called Jegbaji, which is home to a floating salt city.
Okay.
This village sits on top of a lake that's one of the saltiest in West Africa.
Oh, so what's the name of the lake? What's the name of the lake? So first of all, so it's not man-made. It looks to be more natural, like the saltest lake in Africa. That is crazy. That is so. Is it connected to an ocean or a sea? I would like to know.
So guys, we're going to the salt lakes or the salt. Is it salt village? Salt village. Salt village. We're going to the salt village to go and explore it. And I want to show you guys how salt is made in Benin Republic.
Let's go. So does it mean people in Benin are also English speaking? I know. I hope I'm not saying something stupid, but I thought they're French speaking, because I know there are so many Benin guys in France, so I know it's a French speaking country for a fact. But do they speak like English as well? I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, after such a long ride, we drove probably like 10-15 minutes, and now we're at the place where we're going on these boats, and the boat is going to take us across the lagoon to the salt village.
Okay, let's go. Wow.
Here they practice an oldie tradition of salt making that has been passed down from generation to generation since the 17th century. Uida is known for its role in the 17th to 19th century Atlantic slave trade, and it was on our way here that we stumbled on this amazing salt city.
Oh.
The water from this lagoon is salty. Yeah?
But is it hygienic to test it?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So what makes the water so salty?
Because it's connected to the ocean.
Okay. That makes
So the way
sense.
I'm doing
Because it's connected to the ocean.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. I have my answer.
So the way I'm doing this is I'm using this to touch the floor because the floor is close by. Jegbaji or Sit the Seal translates the city of salt. The Jegbaji village is easy to miss because it's a small settlement by the bridge that leads to the slave port in Uida. This settlement is home to multiple huts that serve as mini salt factories that are hidden behind the mangrove trees.
Beautiful.
We finally arrived at the salt village. We rode on this boat for like 5 minutes. Welcome.
So I'm interested to know how they actually make salt, because I feel like if Teo went there, it's because they have a very unique way of making salt. I know in Kenya we do have a salt farm, but it's more like how can I explain it? It's a magadi, and so they actually have like this big strips of land. And if I remember as a child, we had visited one where they had like a plastic, a solid plastic, I would say, not really a bag, but it was a solid plastic something, and so you had the salty water, and so it was outside, and so with the sun, of course, water would evaporate, and then you would have the salt, and they would harvest the salt. So that's the common way of making salt. So it will be interesting to see how they do it in Benin. Because I know their salt is it has a good reputation, especially with the French cooks. So I feel that I'm going to understand why. Probably there's something special about salt in Benin. So let's go.
Come to Jebaji, the South Village.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to Jebaji, the South Village.
Racler ces endroits-là tout dit, ramasser et mettre dans ces paniers que vous voyez.
We can take the sand,
Take the sand
and pour and put it here.
put here inside this place.
Inside this place.
Oh.
The salt is being fed from the Atlantic Ocean just off the coast of Ouida. The tradition of making salt here involves them scraping sand from the seabed and then filling up baskets with it. They then pour water into these baskets to dissolve the salt, which then comes out from a pipe at the
Okay.
bottom of these baskets.
Wow.
The sand also serves as a form of filtration system and removes large particles from the now concentrated salt water. I'm making my own. I have to remove all the
So it must be a long process, because when you look at the basket, it's not too big, so it's not in an industrial level of salt making. So wow, it must be a long process, but it makes sense why the salt probably is much better and very unique type of salt.
30 minutes.
Wow.
Good? Wait, it's good. Wait. Stick in.
The seed of a palm
Palm tree.
Yeah,
Okay.
palm
Palm
seed.
nuts.
So the seed
Okay.
comes up. But if it is not concentrated in salt, it goes down.
Oh.
So can we see this in action?
Yeah.
Okay. After
Oh
this
wait, what did
Palm
you?
tree.
palm tree.
Yeah,
Okay.
palm
Palm
seed.
nuts.
So the seed comes up. But if it is not concentrated in salt, it goes down.
So can we see this in action?
Oh, okay. So that's how they get to check if the salt is concentrated or not. So you have the palm seed. So I can just imagine maybe they put it in a recipient, a bottle or a jug, and then if the palm seed sinks, it means that the salt is concentrated enough. If it floats, then it's not concentrated enough. Okay, that's a good strategy, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. After this process is done, then when they take the concentrated salt water that they've gotten from here, then they take it into this place. And now we're going to see how it is being turned into salt. This is the natural salt factory. This is where most of the salt production happens.
This is the biggest salt factory in Benin. It is more than 5 hectares.
Okay, and so is it owned by individuals? Is it owned by a multinational? Is it this of like one family or different families? How is it?
Yes, and from here it goes to another village we call Grand Popo after Casadepa.
Guys, can you imagine? This is so interesting. I didn't know there was a specific way and process that they make salt. It's so interesting to actually experience
Right.
it. And also hearing that this is one of the biggest salt production spots in Benin. There's a system they also use to detect if the
Okay.
water is salty enough by putting palm nuts into it. If the nuts rise to the top, it means the water has a high salt concentration, while if it falls to the bottom, it means the water has a low salt concentration.
Okay.
These are the palm nuts they were talking about, and this is what they use to test the saltiness of the water. So check it out. Only the lagoon water alone is not concentrated with salt. That's why the palm nuts are falling
Okay,
to the
are
bottom,
at the
because it has not
bottom.
gone through the process that he explained there. So it's only the concentrated one that will make it stay at the top. So we're
Wow.
about to enter into a salt pot now. This side is hot. This is where salt is being made. And depending on the size of your kitchen, you can have a bigger mold that is bigger than this one. So currently here we have 3 pots of salt. And this is how they sort of change the water, the concentrated salt water, and they make it into salt. The highly concentrated salt water is then boiled in big steel pot heated for hours till it forms a dry paste. Once it becomes dry, it is then placed in the sun to dry, packed up in bags, and then taken to the market for sale. The cool part about this salt is that it has no preservatives and retains most of its minerals, unlike the ones that are industrially processed.
So now you can take it.
Okay. Okay. May I do?
Wow.
So when I put it on,
Let me tell you, that's why we think we should support them and respect that hustle. Because you can just imagine how much time, and the whole process is quite long, and for them just to have probably 2 kilos, 5 kilos. So yeah, so it's a big hustle that needs to be respected. And my goodness, it's a very traditional, old way of making salt. And I'm so happy that they decided actually to keep it that way because it makes it unique. And yeah, and that's why I think the Benin salt is very popular.
basket now is going to drain and then it's going to become really nice.
Look at that.
We don't know animals of down, need bathroom.
Wow.
This is a lot of work. So anybody who's watching this video, if you're coming to buy salt from here, just know that it was specially made by me. We need to add some fire.
Yeah.
This is not an easy task, I can tell you that.
Let's
Water
go.
level decreases, some dirt is going to come out, so you have to stay by it and keep removing them so that at the end of the day, the salt you get is going to be very pure.
It is very hot. You can taste it and see if
And it's
salt
hot.
or not.
Salt! Le vrai nom de Gisèle, les amis.
Yeah, but how does it taste? Did you see a difference between the normal salt and this salt? Is it like saltier? I don't know if that makes sense. And the hot salt, does it taste different? It would be nice to know, the difference in taste between the different salts.
En langue nationale, c'est voilà.
The real name of this salt in our dialect here is called collagen.
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 Olaje.
Collagen.
Collagen.
Okay.
Alors, après avoir fini la poule. Ooh, it's hot. This one is not dry yet, but they dry it out and then it eventually turns into salt that they can sell at the market.
Wow.
I arrived when it was raining, so most of the workers were not currently working. When it's not raining, over 100 people will usually be seen harvesting salt in this small section of the village. During a good season of harvest, as much as 2 tons of salt is harvested from this lake by the community on a daily basis.
Wow.
These other villages here, or these other huts here, they are for other people?
Yeah, the kitchen. Each family has its own
Kitchen.
Okay.
Okay.
It is from 17th century. Wow. Yeah, so from generation to generation.
So that means
Right.
this
Okay.
salt village is very unique.
Yes.
It's not everywhere.
No. This is the only place
Only place in Benin Republic.
for the whole country.
Wow.
So
Okay.
when the season is great,
Yeah.
people can be about 100
100.
here. So
Wow.
they can produce a day like 2 tons.
2 tons.
All right, so we got the answer. It's different families, passed over generation after generation. And so, yeah, so it's really interesting. And 2 tons of sand on a good day per day, that's a lot. So it makes sense. If they're like more than 100, then they can, and they spend the whole day there and so on. So it can, yeah, make sense.
Of salt. A kilo of salt gotten has an average price of 600 sefa per kilo. The Jegbaje people are popularly known for salt making, and most families in this community own at least one hut for salt production. The number of salt huts you have determine how wealthy you are. This is how they make their living, by extracting salt
Okay.
and selling it in the market.
Wow.
I've never seen anywhere like this before in Africa. This is my first time seeing them manually producing salt. As you can see, there are multiple baskets there with the same contraption. It's a very innovative way. It has been practiced since the 17th century. It's how they used to produce salt back then, before we had all these machines and the rest. This is a very important part of the culture.
Yeah, I think the crazy part is it's a lake, right? But you have some dry land, so that's where the huts are. So are those man-made? Well, of course the huts are man-made, but the land, this natural land, and I would like to know, or is it like a rock, or is it like made on a rock on the lake? And it's really beautiful, beautiful place, really.
In Benin Republic, the salt village of Benin Republic.
Hmm. Wow.
And guys, we come to the end of our adventure in this village, and I'm here with our tour guide. So if you want to have this amazing experience I just had now, I'm going to put his number in the description below so you guys can reach out to him. He's a very good guide. It's interesting to see an age-old tradition being kept alive in small villages like this, and I'm
Right.
glad to have been able to experience it. Benin Republic is home to so much beauty and culture, and I can't wait to share more stories with you guys, so definitely stay tuned. Our
We
goal this
will.
month is to hit 300,000 subscribers, so if you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Right. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I've never heard about this, but it makes sense why the Benin salt is very popular, especially in France. And yeah, so thanks, Teo, for taking us to this salt village, and it's a very beautiful place. And wow, I really loved it, enjoyed it, and it's nice that you get to, to promote these places because most of us had no idea